It's Troy again. Today we're going to be talking about the programming process. Sometimes the hardest thing for a new developer is to write those first lines of code in that blank text editor. It's kind of like an author writing a book. Sometimes they say the hardest pages to write are the first couple. This programming process will help you through the steps needed to write a program. It'll work for the smallest of programs all the way to the very largest. So the first thing you need when you write a program is a set of requirements. You need to understand them. They need to be really clear in your mind. And if you have questions, you need to ask. Once you have a clear set of requirements, now you need to consider your approach. This is the design step. What design will you be using to accomplish the set of requirements? Think about the set of tasks that you need to accomplish. Don't get all bogged down with the source code here. Just focus on pseudocode or the steps. The third thing that you need to do is determine how you're going to test the program. Now this may sound like it's in the wrong order, but many developers write their tests before they ever write their programs. And it will help you to design and to write a program that ends with the right results. The fourth step is to write the program. Keep it as simple as you can. That will make a difference. And then the fifth one is to execute your program and check to make sure that the results match the requirements. Now I'm going to show you a simple example of following these steps with a program. Keep in mind that this one's really simple, but the same steps will apply whether it's easy or whether it's really hard. Welcome back to NetBeans. So what we're going to be showing you is how to follow these steps using a Java program. We'll begin by opening up our package and creating a new Java class. Now because in this case we're calculating factorial, we're going to call the Java class factorial and click Finish. We'll put a simple header in here. Oops. Okay, now, once you get down here into your class, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create a comment block. And within this comment block, you're going to write your requirements. The requirement in this case is to calculate and print factorial for a given number. Okay? That's pretty simple and straightforward. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the shell of our program. Since we're just going to do a procedural program here, we're going to create a main. The next thing that we need to do is put in a comment line for each major step in our program. So this is where really the hard part is. You need to think about the steps that your program needs to take. Now don't get hung up on the syntax. Just think about the basic steps. Here's where your pseudocoding can come into place. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to declare answer, because we need to have a place to store the value of the answer that we calculate. Okay? The second thing we need to do is we need to calculate answer. The third thing we need to do is we need to print answer. Okay, so those are pretty simple. The last thing that I always like to do is we need to know whether or not our program generated the right results. Okay, so we're going to assert that 5 factorial, we'll use 5 factorial in our program, equals 120. Okay, so when we run our program, we'll check against that and make sure that it works. The next step is to come back and to put in the Java code for each of the steps. Declare answer. We're going to make it an integer. We're going to set it equal to 0. The next step is to calculate answer, which equals, for 5 factorial, 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. Put that semicolon on the end. We've just calculated answer. Now we're going to print it. System.out.println. And within there, we're just going to put answer in there, just very simply. Now we could certainly make it more sophisticated. Notice that we didn't put double quotes around answer because we don't want the word answer. We want the result of the variable answer. Okay, so that's our program. Now we're going to run it by right-clicking, coming down to run the file, which compiled it, built it, and ran it. And it ended up with a result of 120. Now we come down and we look at our assertion. We're asserting that 5 factorial equals 120, and our program is working correctly.